Hi, in this video we're going to talk about MuchSkills Skills and Validation Tool. It is a tool that enables you to validate the skills and competences the employee have added. It enables you to give out skills from the organization to the employee, give out badges and certifications. I will show you some interesting examples of how you can use this tool. Now, before we start, I want to answer some important questions I generally get. I many times get the question like, how do we ensure the data accuracy of the data entered by the employees? And it's a complex answer, so I will do my best to tell you. When we are creating this entire system and employees are adding all their skills, we need to balance cost, engagement, and data accuracy. It's a fine line here, and every organization is unique, so you need to make sure you adjust this to whatever is right for you. We have made sure that we added layers that are making sure the employee's data is as accurate as ever possible. The first thing we've done is that we made sure it's fun and safe for the employees. When they go in and start adding their skills in MuchSkills, they get engaged. They start adding a lot of skills, and then we add 50 to 200 skills per person. So a lot of skills. And they feel safe. They feel safe that there's no judgment or anything else, and it's interesting and fun. The next layer we added is called validation by transparency, a very smart system. When employees go and add their skill in, let's say, product management, they will see their boss, their colleagues, and their skill levels, and they will see themselves compared to their boss and their colleagues. This is very, very smart because most employees don't want to put in wrong data. They actually want to put in right data. It's just that they misunderstand the scaling system. That's why it's incorrect. So now when they can see their manager, they can see their colleagues, it's so much easier for them to place themselves correctly. The third one is called human-centric validation. This is when you have your one-on-ones, your employee development talks. The managers are trained to sit down with the employee and look at their skill profile and give feedback, and also use this as an amazing opportunity to get to know the employee better and understand their strengths and competences. But in many times, the employees maybe have over-evaluated their skill level. The manager can now give feedback. But to be honest, the most common is that the employee have under-evaluated their skill level. And this is a brilliant opportunity for the managers to help them realize that they have higher competence than what they give themselves credit for. Now, for some organization, this is so important to have the right skills and skill levels that we develop a special tool called the Skill Validation Tool that can be used for many different things. And that is what we're going to talk about today. You can validate the skills, give out skills, badges, and certifications. So let's have a look. The first thing we need to do is to set up what skills we want to validate. You can go to settings, so teamwork settings, and then you can go to manage validated competences. You can create one or several lists of skills that you want to validate or give out. You can click up here to create a new list. Now, I will go and edit some lists I already created because it's easier. So I will go to validate skills and competences, and I prepared. I added a bunch of skills that are very important for my organization to go and validate. So let's see how we can add more. When you're adding more, you can just go down here and let's see what we want to have. Continuous something. So when you start typing, we will look for skills that are already in the system. So continuous improvement is a skill we already have, a skill an employee can add. So I will add that. So I now added continuous improvements, is now added as something we want to validate. But I also want to have a skill that can only be given out by the company. No employee can add it themselves, only the company itself. So I'm going to call it CO2 capturing tech knowledge. Very specific. So I added here, as you can see, there are no suggestions, anything, because this skill doesn't exist anywhere in the system, and I press enter. When I've done that, is now added. So why do I want to add this skill? Well, maybe I kind of have a test myself. I test all the employees on this specific skill. I want them to be have levels also. So you have choices. Either it could be just a badge, meaning I did a test, they were approved, you get a badge. Done. No levels. Or if you want, you can have levels. Then you need to change here. So I click yes. This means now that employees will go and do the test, and they will then be scaled on from beginner to intermediate to an expert. So you have two choices here. You can also click here to add a little icon if you want to. So let's see here, CO2, I'm going to have a little earth here. So I think that's perfect. So we now added a new skill we want to validate continuous improvements, and we added a skill that can only be given out by the company. This is my total list of skills that should be validated by managers. And you can add as many as you like. And I'll go back and I want to show you some other super cool, interesting lists we created. We have this amazing client that actually do a lot of awards internally for like good achievements, everything from helping clients to doing different things. And I just love it. I think it's so nice. So here we have special awards, Pixel Perfect Gold Winner, Customer Appreciation Award, 3 Successful Client Projects. These are badges. There are no levels or anything. It's just like when you achieve this, you can get this badge on your profile. And I will show you later how this looks like. Another example that I really think is so nice is something called security compliance, or maybe internal training or internal onboarding. You can choose a little bit what you want to call it. But it's kind of like general training that is done for new employees, or general training that's done depending on your level. For example, I have clients that do security training. So we have security training level 1, 2, and 3. Or we have employee and health and safety training. Or we have first aid training. When an employee have done the training, I just take this tool and I give them to them as a badge. And then I can easily see who have done the first aid training, who have not done this first aid training, and everything else. Finally, we have security clearance. It's not so common, but I thought this was also really interesting. You could add who have security clearance to certain objects or offices or location, whatever it may be, because it's valuable for you to know very quickly who this is. So this is actually a perfect place to put it. You just add the different ones here and this become a badge, and I can add it to this. So I created my lists here. This is amazing. So how do I now give out a skill or validate a skill or give it a badge or certificate to an employee? Well, there's two ways. If you're an administrator, you can go here to the left side. So I'm team org and settings, and then I can go to manage members. Here I have my different members, and now I need to give some skills and skill validations for Emil. I tap on him and I get this up, and I can scroll down, and you now have validated competences and validated certificates. So I tap here and I can now, for example, add different things. So he won this Pixel Perfect Gold Winner, like customers appreciate him, he got full stars. So I'm adding that. He will now have this on his profile. I tap again and I also need to validate some skills. So I'm going to pick Python. When I'm validating a skill, you will immediately see what skill level he have selected. You can see here is green and showing that he selected himself to be intermediate skilled in Python. If I add beginner, it will clearly indicate that is not the same. If I would add the exact same as he does, it will show here that is equal. And if you add him as an expert, the same thing. You don't think the same. So it will show here what he feels, what I feel, and all this stuff. So what is this? I want to explain a little bit more in detail. When an employee goes in and adds their skills, it will be their opinion, their perspective on themselves. Managers or administrators cannot change whatever the employee have added. It is the employee's perspective. When you as a manager go in and validate a skill, it will be perceived to be the manager's perspective. We have done this to make sure that you as an organization will be compliant to laws and regulations in different countries and regions, so there will not be an issue for you. So that is going to be the employee's perspective and the manager's perspective. Remember, just because somebody's manager doesn't mean they're right. It just means they have a different opinion. That's why the system is designed in this very specific way to make sure it is all compliant and correct. So now I can add here, and I actually feel Emil is underestimating himself. I will add him as an expert, and I'm going to save, and this will now be visible everywhere. I can also go in here and I can add security compliance. So he have done security level training 1. He also have a security clearance. So I'm going to add for object 2 and object, let's see here, what do we have, object 3, because these are new clearances he received. You can also tap here and I could add Figma, Maybe here you can see that Emil never added himself as a knowledgeable in Figma, but I kind of want to have this because I know he's a beginner and he's upskilling himself. So I'm just going to add that because I know he's working on it. So I save that as well. And for some organization, you need to add everything. For some organization, you just need to add a few. It's up to you to decide the policy. In this same view, you can also add validated certificates. So Emil could add certificates for himself, but you can also add certificates. So we can do AWS, for example. You just start typing, immediately will come up with suggestions of the most suitable certificate. So here, I think he acquired this certificate for AWS, and I can then add license number, issuing date, expiration date, URLs. I can upload the proof. I can add all type of certificates to Emil if I want to. So this is like one way to do it. This is usually the place where like an administrator will do it. A manager is a little bit different. A manager will go to My Circle, and here they can go to see the reporting view. So if we imagine I'm Wilke will go in here and they will see Emil, Jasmine, these are all Wilke's direct reports. She get a full overview if they have updated their profile. She can send reminders, she can see changes, she can see modifications, she can see everything. And I can then also go in here and click on Emil and I can then see his profile. So if I'm Wilke and I need to validate skills, I can then click validate and I can go in here and I can either modify these or add here. So I can go in and I can, oh, I forgot he also won this 3 successful client projects. So I can now easily add it. Or I can validate a skill like Java, for example, and I can add here as intermediate. And maybe I add JavaScript as well, and I can add intermediate and save. And it's all saved and tracked here. Same thing with certificates. I can add that as well. So it's a brilliant way for me to quickly add it. When I'm adding all these different things, they will be visible in different places. So I thought I'd show you quickly where it will be visible. When you're in this view as a manager, there's always this skill summary. I can click view and you will now see all the validated competences here. So it is clearly displayed in the top. This full profile or this profile view is also visible in Team Builder. And if I go to Emil's full profile, so we can do that here. This is Emil's public profile. I can scroll down and you will see all his different skills validation in the bottom here as well. So this will be visible for Emil and all his colleagues. Now, we can also go to My Skills. So if Emil would edit his skills, he will actually also down here see his validated skills and competences. He will see who have validated the skills and all this other things. Sorry, this is my profile actually. And then you can also see here security, compliance and everything else and who have added it and what date it was added. So all these different things are available here also as well when the employees go and edit their skills and skills profile, so they can see, okay, I have this and I can see what have been added to me. The validated skills and competences can be used in many different ways. And I just want to show you quickly some examples. If you go to Teamwork and Analysis, adding these validated skills is a brilliant way to see it in different places. For example, Project Manager. Here I defined the Project Manager role. I added all the skills and competences that is required, but I also added here a certification, but also the compliance that is required. You can also add different skills. So if I tap up here, I can add, for example, validated skills. Simply scroll down, you will see the different validated skills. So I can say, you need to have validated Python, Java, project management, and so on. Or security compliance, like first aid training, or Object 1 clearance, or whatever it may be. Now, when I scroll down, you will in the report actually see all the different validated competences. You can quickly see here and click and see who have been, who is validated to what level and who validated them. So I can see all this information so easily here everywhere. If I scroll down, I will also see here the different validation on this person. And if I scroll down further, you can see this view here, like all the different things that have been added here, including validation and everything else. So it's all clear in these different reports in any way or form. These validated skills are also available in other reports. You can go to Teamwork Overview. You will have all the user added, but you can also click here to see manager added skills and competences of different types. So I can click here and I can see all the different skills and I can see the skills and skill levels. If you go to reports, you can also see all skills, and here we can see everything summarized into one single report. Same thing with certifications. They're all summarized here. But if you want to, you can see user added skills and validated certifications that have been added. If you use Team Builder, the same thing here. If I click edit to this team here, and you will see then I can modify the team. We've added different skills. And if I click here, I could also add validated skills that are required, like Pixel Perfect Gold winner or Python or anything else. And it will now be added as a requirement on this list. And I can see them here. So Pixel Perfect Gold winner or Python. And then I can also go here and I can tap on different people. So here we have Andreas. I can easily see all his validated skills and competence and badges. So it's so easy to see absolutely everywhere. So this was a short introduction. Sorry, there's a lot of information because it's such an amazing product. But this is how skills validation works within MuchSkills and how you can use badges, add certification, give out skills, all these different things. As you can see, it's available in all different types of reports. I hope you enjoy this feature. And if you have any questions at all, you can always reach us by going to the bottom here. You can send us a message and we will reply as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and I wish you an amazing day.